Hi friends, Gia here. Welcome if you're new, and if you're already a subscriber, thanks for coming back. So today we're going to talk about how to be more productive, how I'm able to maximize my full day to get everything done that I need to get done. When I start to feel discouraged or feel like, just lazy or, procrastination sets in, I always say to myself, you know what? I have the same 24 hours Beyonce has. And if she can do all that, I can do all this. I know that's like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but that people do say that you have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. So, she gets so much done. I know I can get so much done. And there's some people who have a way more crazier schedule than I do. And if they can get all their stuff done, then I can get all my stuff done. For me, the more structure I have in my day, the more I get done. I'm just the type of person who needs that structure. If I don't have that structure, I kind of get easily distracted with stuff that wastes time or just some really, time wasting habits. It is important that I have that structure. And so these two methods that I'm going to talk about today are what helps me to keep that structure in place and to get everything done. I also just structure in downtime and me time where I can just do whatever it is that I want to do, so that I don't get distracted with my phone by just sneaking in and trying to do this and that on my phone when I'm trying to focus on my tasks at hand. So I have to schedule in time like that, so that I do have that me time. I do have that time to watch my reality junk and my guilty pleasures. So that's scheduled in with that structure as well. So there are two methods of productivity that I use. And I'm first going to explain the first method, which is what I use to kind of get stuff done around the house. I really like the Pomodoro method. And if you're interested, there is a book on Amazon, I will link it down below, that explains this. The Pomodoro method is essentially a technique that breaks work into intervals, and those intervals are usually 25 minutes. So for example, if I know that I have a solid 2.5 hours to get stuff done around the house, I know that that is 6 Pomodoros. So I know that cleaning my kitchen is 1 Pomodoro, cleaning the bathroom is 2 Pomodoros, doing the laundry is 1 Pomodoro. Maybe I need to organize a closet, that could be 2 more Pomodoros. So I like to do that. I really like that method. And essentially you could increase your Pomodoros once you got comfortable with the 25 minutes to like 40 minutes. Some people do it for an hour. I really like that because once you get comfortable with it, you know exactly how many Pomodoros it takes you to get something done, and it's easier to just plan your day out that like that. I like to do that when I'm at home. Now, when I'm at work, I like to use block scheduling, and essentially what that is I, from 8 to 10, I work on a certain list of things. And then from 10 to 12, I work on another list of things. Now I try to get everything done on that list, but if I can't get everything done within that time, I move on to the next block of items once that time runs out, and try to get as much done. But it's to the point now where I know exactly how much I can do in that 2 hours or sometimes 3 hours or sometimes even 1 hour time chunk, so that I'm able to do everything on that list. I just check it off, and then I move on to the next chunk of time once the time rolls over. I really like block scheduling. I think block scheduling is effective when you're trying to do a batch of things. Like for instance, for YouTube, I'll film a batch of videos in a certain block of time, and then another block of time I'll make a batch of thumbnails for each video, and then another batch of time I'll work on my website. That really works really well for people, and it just depends on your personality, what you want to do, what you're more comfortable doing. But those are the two things I'm really able to be more productive when I focus and create my lists and block my time out for whatever it is that I need to get done that day. I do use my Inkwell Press. I started using my Inkwell Press weekly layout for that. Like I'll start writing in my block scheduling or how many Pomodoros it takes. I do have an app on my phone that I use for the Pomodoro technique. Yep, it's just called Pomodoro. I think it's called Pomodoro. And you essentially just start, and then it's like a timer. You click start, and then the timer goes and it alerts you once your Pomodoro is up, which is great. I mean, I love it. It's a free app. I use that, like I said, around the house, and then when I'm at work or trying to do YouTube stuff, I do the block scheduling. That really works for me. That's why I'm actually thinking about switching planners back to the Erin Condren planner, because they now have an hourly layout for the week, which I think would be really helpful for people who like block scheduling, because I'm definitely a pretty functional planner. I talked about that in my Inkwell Press update. If you haven't seen that video, you can click this box here and I will also insert a card. But yeah, that's essentially how I'm able to be more productive. It makes me feel great, like I accomplished everything that I want to accomplish. Even if I didn't check off everything, or even if I didn't finish everything, at least I got something done. And that's what makes me feel good about myself, you know. And you guys have to really definitely grant yourself grace. Nobody's perfect. Nobody checks off everything on their to-do list every single day, and that is okay. Nobody's perfect. So remember to grant yourself grace. Don't feel bad if you don't get everything done. That's why the Lord blesses you with the next day, so that you can continue to grow and get your stuff done, work on your routines, work on your techniques that work for you and your family. Because as women, you know, we wear a lot of hats. We're really great at multitasking, and sometimes multitasking can actually be a negative thing, because you're trying to multitask and doing so many things that nothing ever gets accomplished. That's why I think focusing on a certain technique or a certain way of planning helps you to get it done. And those are just my 2 ways of being more productive. So that's it for today, guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, how do you be productive? How do you make your to-do list? What kind of methods do you guys use? I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, click that button down below, and also check out my previous videos here. You can also check me out on all my social media platforms, all listed down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.